got tattooed. What the fuck is wrong with you?
KD gonna smack the shit out you.
With them long nigga, look here, the Brantula, with them long ass arms.
Welcome to Out the Frame. I'm your host, Bleak.
What's up? You got me in here, the co-host DP. Don't play, aka DP, aka Peasy. What it do?
Hey man, it's a lot. You know what? Sometimes we may like take a break, right? And a lot of times we in the background getting like some of this shit together. But however, it's been some shit going on. It's always something going on in the world of hip hop and the culture, in general. But I
Well,
do
before
want
we get into do this, how about this? Before we get into it, we got to take a little quick second. Shout out all the new followers. We got to make sure we shine some light on at least some of them. Shout out not underscore Stig, Robin Schneider, Kai Tay, got the Chrome. What is it? Sacred Heart shit going on over there. We got Leoner G,
okay.
Caleb Thomas, Dolores Beavers.
Yeah.
Let me a couple more. Alicia Pete, Keisha Jackson, 90. All right, shout them out. Shout them out.
Yeah.
Round
Yeah.
welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome,
You
welcome.
all been stamped as an out the frame smoker. So if you don't know what a smoker is, that's just a fan of ours or people that engage with us highly. So I want to shout them out. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Out the frame. That's how we gonna do that. But yeah, it was good in your neck of the woods, bro.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Not too much new. Keeping it consistent and growing like a plant that's getting watered, man. That's all.
Oh yeah. My nigga, if you don't get no bigger, that's how you getting older because you start saying little shit like that.
Ain't nothing big to a giant. You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Niggas start thinking in parables and
Yeah.
what
Saying shit like, what I mean? If I had your hand, I cut mine off. Say a little shit like that.
that don't mean nothing.
Yeah, a bunch of nothing.
Since
But
I was high to a grasshopper, you feel me? We go back
uh,
like vertebrae. You feel me?
it's pig's pussy point pink. What they be saying? It's pig's pussy
Tighter
pink.
than tighter than a fish pussy.
Yeah. Always look,
Anything.
they always talk about man, she was thicker than the what the fuck you say? A swamp possum. Like, why would you even look at a swamp possum like that? Like thicker than a swamp. Who the fuck even cares? But look,
Crazy.
I look, man. I want to ask you something, man. So everybody know about what's been going on um in the world of hip hop when it comes to Diddy and the allegations with Diddy, and also the recent allegations with Jay-Z, right? But did you know this though? Let me ask you this. Let me see if I can bring this up. Matter of fact, let me see if I could do this. I want to ask you this. It's a couple things. Let me see. Now, sometimes they say, another old nigga saying, right? Where they say it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Ain't that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
So let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Yeah, I think this it right here. Let me see. Is that it? Yeah, this it right here. So I'm gonna get to it. I'm off the screen. So you can see it, right? DP.
You gotta bring it to the stage.
Oh, I ain't bring it to stage yet. I thought I brought it to stage and then jump. Oh, all right. Let me add it to stage and let me take this off. All right. So look, this says Diddy accuses attorney Tony Buzbee accused of unethical legal conduct by former client. And this was just
Mm-hmm.
published today. So it's very recent. I'm gonna read it real quick. The attorney leading several high-profile lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs is facing additional allegations of misconduct amid his various legal battles. A former client of Tony Buzbee, a woman identified anonymously as Jane Doe, is accusing the Texas-based lawyer of committing various abuses during his time as a divorce attorney. According to court documents obtained by USA Today on Thursday, these alleged offenses include legal malpractice, assault, and fraud, among other charges. Buzbee slammed the lawsuit in an email statement to USA Today, calling the complaint allegations purely false. Regarding her divorce proceedings, though alleges she was deprived of an adequate settlement reward due to Busby's unethical conduct, claiming he neglected his client's legal rights in her divorce proceedings to protect himself. The lawsuit comes a month after Buzbee was sued by a high-profile male celebrity who was later revealed to be Jay-Z for alleged extortion. In an email statement to USA Today at the time, Buzbee called the Roc Nation founder's complaint an aggressive attempt to intimidate or silence me and ultimately my clients.
Well, that's crazy.
So look, not only that, it's another little tidbit information in there that hold on real quick. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Boom. I'm gonna bring this up too. Let me see. Share this tab instead. Yeah. So look, can you see this the TMZ tab?
Yeah.
All right. Tony Buzbee sued for allegedly giving women an STI. He says it's a smear campaign. Look at his face.
Literally, that is a literal. Who was on the smear campaign? He was.
Hold on, I'm about to read it real quick. It says Tony Buzbee, the high-profile attorney who's filed multiple lawsuits against Diddy and one against Jay-Z, is now accused of infecting a woman he dated with a venereal disease. So he is, for those who don't know, he is basically saying that Jay-Z, Roc Nation camp is the ones that is putting out this smear campaign. So that's what I wanted to get your opinion on. Like, what you think about this shit?
Well, I think it's a smart move. If they are, I think it's a smart move. And if they aren't, I think it is what goes around comes around. It's that simple.
Yeah, because he could be, because they could say the same thing. You doing a smear campaign against them?
Because check this out, right? Like, here's the thing. Like with the case, like let's say some of the stuff like about Diddy is true. Let's take on premise, right? Let's say for instance, some of the allegations of his clients against Diddy are true, right? And they obtained his legal services and he's fighting for his clients, right? We know at the very least, though, the allegations against Jay-Z have been proven false for the most part. Like the girl, like her story just had so many inconsistencies, right? So the point, like they said, we need this case dismissed tomorrow. Like I think the standard for New York is like 28 days. They're like, we don't even want the 28 days. We want this due to its nature, due to the impact on my client, on his business, on his family and affairs. We need this dismissed by tomorrow. So I think we can go off the premise that one is fake, right? So here's the thing. As a lawyer, he's supposed to vet allegations, at least to a little bit. When they sign that paper,
yeah, you would think you would think you would, right?
Yeah, that's them. That's them saying I have vetted this and I'm putting my name on it. They're literally putting their name on it, right? So we can say at the very least that the situation with Jay-Z, he either didn't vet that situation properly or he is money chasing and clout chasing, right? So now we get into a case.
He's definitely an ambulance chaser. Like the way that he comes across and how the pure tenacity in which he's throwing these cases out there, and then the names that he's attaching the shit to. Come on, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if that's the case, then I think this is simply what goes around comes around one, and if they're doing it on purpose as an attack, it's still what goes around comes around.
Listen, I am not even going to sit here and fake and pretend. Jay-Z, legally, I hope you didn't do this shit, right? Just whatever. But if a nigga did do this shit, man, you was a sneaky motherfucker, and I do not blame you, man. Fuck that. Like sometimes, man, you gotta fight fire with fire out there, and in this world, how these motherfuckers going, you throw my name under the bus like that, and and I know that I'm fucking innocent, man, you gonna get what's coming to you, nigga. Luckily, some other shit don't, you know. What'd you say?
Real. And in his position, it's not like he can take it to the street. He got to fight
Right, he got to. That's what I'm
lawyer
saying.
with the law. I mean, that's all he can do in that position. I saw.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nigga, Jay ain't young, so it ain't like nigga do need to take it there. And like I said, in this position, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you got, hey, it's more than one way to skin a cat. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean?
And so on this, I'm going off the premise that if Jay-Z is innocent based on this single allegation that he has and how the timeline doesn't match up, even the father said, I don't know what she's talking about. The father said that. So you kind of got to, that's something the father will remember.
Man, listen,
so that's why. That's why.
That's the one key part, man, that I have a daughter. You don't think I would remember something from 20 years ago to say that I drove 5 hours to pick you up after you called me from a payphone from a gas station, and I drove back 5 hours and we rode in silence. You're 13 years old. Man, you got me fucked up as a father. Think I'm gonna sit there and say I don't we didn't have a talk about what the fuck, where you coming from, why I had to drive 5 hours to pick you up. Anybody out there with common
you got 5 hours to talk about it.
Man, that's all the fuck we would be talking. Man, that's all we would be talking about. I mean, you got me fucked up. Like, people got to realize, like, sometimes in situations like that, that's the part that you gotta really think about as a parent, as a person.
So look, right, to keep things back on track, though, not to get too far gone, right, is like 50 Cent went on and accused him. He said, oh, Jay-Z is playing the game. Like Jay-Z said, take it to criminal court if it's that way. And he goes to try to paint the narrative that is past the statutes of limitation. But just to be fair, right, as a minor, if there is a sexual assault on a minor, they got till they're 55. So just wanted to point that out, that no, if they wanted to take it to criminal court, they could. And so again, I'm going off the premise that Jay-Z is innocent, right? Because, well, as of now, we have no reason to believe otherwise. So if he's innocent and he's like, oh, you want to play? You want to come after money? You want to try to extort me? That's why he got the lawsuit about extortion. And best believe he wouldn't file that lawsuit if he didn't have some ammunition. He got some high-profile, high-power lawyers, and they're like, oh, we got the proof right here. Right? Yeah. If Jay-Z said he reached out to him and said, if you don't pay this, we're going to put you in this lawsuit. And it came labeled demands. So if he got that, it's going to show. It's going to come out. Like, if he made that claim, Jay-Z made that claim, and if it's true, and they're suing him for extortion, and that should come out. We should see it, you know? And like I said, I just think, look, he's attacking him the way he can. And that's assuming that he's doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And for all we know, maybe he's not. Maybe this is just his past, because you got to think now he's becoming famous. His name is tied in with a very, very high profile case. It's in front of a lot of people. And so maybe, just maybe, that his name is getting bigger. Huh? What'd you say?
I say that's an excellent point. That his face is out there now. His name is getting bigger.
Yeah. So just maybe there's people ambulance chasing him. Or maybe they're just like, hold on, you played with me and you fucked me over, and maybe these allegations are true and they're coming for their retribution. Either way, I think this is, if I have to put my opinion on it, if I have to put my stamp, I think it's a case of you reap what you sow.
Enough said.
Yo, and we back out the frame. We back.
Sir.
So I got a question for you, right? So the other day we got the video up, and it's about 50 Cent coming to the defense of Andrew Schulz and Drake. I think somebody even called him in the comments. We had some interesting comments. I think somebody even called him Captain Saver Bro.
What was the name of that video?
Let me see. So we got the video the other day. 50 Cent goes in on Kendrick Lamar and defends Drake and Andrew Schulz. All right. And we had some interesting comments and interesting takes on this video. The video is basically about If you guys don't know, most of you do. So we don't even got to go through all the rigmarole and bring you up to date with Andrew Schulz and Kendrick Lamar. But 50 Cent goes on his show, on Andrew Schulz's show, and basically comes to his aid, right? And so we had some interesting comments, like even Cosmic Comedy, shout him out, Cosmic Comedy 7394 called him Captain Saver Bro, and that's really disappointing. That's pretty funny. But we got this comment right here, right? And I wanted to get your take. Makiba9461 writes, it's time to stop watching his shows. Time to hold him accountable for his actions against black celebrities. He has no smoke for white people and other celebrities. He sat down with Schulz, who disrespects black women. Time to finally hold him accountable and boycott his shows. Now, there's some responses, people, you can check out the responses, go to the video. But I just want to get your take on it. What do you think about this point? I think it's a pretty good point. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. What's her name? Makiba9461. Hey, 50 gonna fuck you up. But nah, but no. I'm just fucking with you, Queen. But at the end of the day, hey, she got a major point, man. If at the end of the day, if the black celebrities, I mean, it seems as if everybody that 50 Cent goes at is black, and the one white person that he always holds in high regard is Eminem. He never says nothing. Of course, I don't think he should, about Eminem per se. But when she said it the way she just said it, it does seem as if he really don't got no smoke for no white folks. I mean, he said shit against Vivica. He ain't say nothing bad against what's the white girl Chelsea Handler he used to fuck with. He ain't never say he ain't dog her out. He dogged out Vivica.
Nothing. No.
You see what I'm saying? So,
that,
but you would think now. See, as a black woman, I can see why she probably feel, huh?
Just to put a little light to be unbiased. 50 was on $1 million worth of game not too long ago, and he was on Big Boy radio not too long ago. So he does sit down with black.
But I do understand where she's coming from, because look, as a black woman, she's probably looking at it from the standpoint of on the heels of Andrew Schulz saying, matter of fact, and didn't you do a video? We did a video on Andrew Schulz about that. About him saying something. I think we did do a video. We did a video on that one too. So you can look down on our videos about that one as well. I can understand where she's coming from. She's looking at it from the standpoint of when you have one rapper and Kendrick saying, X, Y, and Z about, I guess, a white comedian having something negative to say about black women, and pretty much when a black man does say something, now is met with that type of response. And then for 50 to turn around on the heels of that to go sit down, almost like blowing that shit off, like, nah, ain't no big deal. So yeah, like
so let me ask you, right? Is this a coincidence? So 50 got 2 sons, right? And he got a son with a black woman, and he don't even claim this guy, right?
Hey man,
he got a hold on. Hear me out though. He got a son with a black woman, and he don't even claim it, right? Like they're at odds, right? But he does have a son named Sire. He even got a company named Sire Productions or something like that he can.
I think it's
pass down to Sire.
I think it's a liquor brand or a spirit company or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And he calls him his sire. So, but that son is with someone of a different ethnicity. Do you think that's 50, a coincidence?
No, I think 50. I think 50 got deep. I think he got deep-seated hatred for niggas because a nigga shot him. That's what I think. I really think a nigga killed his mother. Those are trauma responses, bro. And I don't think, like, I'm saying it in a joke, but I think it is some truth into that shit. Like, You just got to think about it. Like everybody who probably
He don't
done
like
him
niggas, huh?
wrong, man. Everybody probably done him wrong. Probably was a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the one motherfucker who he always credited saving his life is Eminem. So you got to go back and understand, you know, shit like that. Like I ain't saying it's right, but I'm just saying it's probably some deep seated shit with that.
But you got to understand it's proximity, man. If you grow up a bunch of, it's proximity too. If you grow up around a bunch of niggas that look just like you, and you have something wrong for you, it's probably a nigga that looks just like you.
Exactly, man. I remember not this is on the same subject, but you know, whatever. Remember a couple years ago when someone asked Lil Wayne about the Black Lives Matter shit, and he said something about the white officer that saved his life. So it was kind of like he was kind of throwing that shit kind of like, you know, he was trying to like throw it to the side, you know, in a way, but kind of pretty much saying like I ain't got no problem with white police or white people because the white police saved my life, which I get and understand, but you don't bring that shit up in that moment when someone asking you specifically about this, what was going on. I'm saying it to say, you see how sometimes people's why they give certain shit. I wouldn't give it a pass. Me personally, you know how I rock. I don't give none of that type of shit no pass. But at the end of the day, I can look at it and understand, like in their mind, they looking at like, nah, it's y'all niggas that did me wrong. Is the one white person is the one who saved my life. You know what I mean? That's probably how they, in the back of their mind, somewhere is where that thought probably coming from.
So you think 50 Cent don't like black women?
Man, nah, I really I don't think he do in that sense. Not saying like he have a total hatred, but I think it's something there where. But we know, but to be honest, all right, let me just call a spade a spade. We already know this about some niggas. Some niggas automatically hold white folks in high regard, no matter what lane they in or gender. And it's a lot of black dudes that hold white women in high regard. And I'm not saying it's not understandable for me, but everybody got their own cup of tea of what and who they like to date. But you can also kind of see like when someone is holding somebody else in a higher regard. Not good, because I'm saying like this: date whoever you want to fucking date. Who cares? That's not. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you could tell how certain people think. What'd you say?
It's going out on me.
Now you good now?
But
What'd you say?
I mean, I agree to that. You got people like Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, who said he doesn't like Drake or Kendrick. You can't listen to either one because they both date.
Man, I ain't know Dr. Umar was gonna have an appearance, man. We have a Dr. Umar appearance. Man, I do not
But
mess
yeah,
around
that's
with
crazy.
this swirl, brother. I do
That's
not
a
mess
hell of a
around
take
with the swirl. I do not mess around with the swirl, brother.
Crazy. We need him to have a talk with Dr.
Man, could you imagine
50 to have a talk with Dr. Umar, man?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that'd be an interesting conversation to see. 50 and Umar.
That's wild, man.
Man, look,
you know what? I gotta take that back. You know what I mean? Look, I said, I said Jay-Z might be sending his people at him and all that, and I gave a reason why, but I gotta take that back. Now that I think about it, it ain't Jay-Z. It's Diddy. It's Diddy. He's slick as hell, bro. Like what he's doing.
1-800.
He's like, I know they're gonna blame Jay-Z for this shit, so I'm gonna send these people at him. This my chance. So he spends a little dollars to make that whole shit. Is gonna make every case against him look a little shady, bro.
Man.
And why? Who better to do it? He's like that nigga Jay-Z did it. The whole time Diddy did it, bro.
This letter is out of Roc Nation's camp, right? I'm gonna read it real quick. Mr. 1-800 said today that Roc Nation is criminally responsible for his legal woes with ex-client, ex-lover who is accusing him of transmitting venereal diseases, assaulting, falsifying documents, and stealing clients' monies. No and no. God is behind that sunlight you keep referencing. We are not the source of every sunlight that you get, but rock sunshine is coming your way, Mr. 1-800. Shameful. DP said, did he put that motherfucking hit out on him?
Who is this from?
I guess
this is from Roc Nation.
Yeah, that's from Roc Nation. So Diddy,
okay,
Diddy put the hit out. It told the people,
Twitter fingers,
man. Man, this shit get interesting, man. So now they got these, man. Basically, it's gonna come down to who got the best legal team. Tony Buzbee's team or the Roc Nation team. I ain't gonna lie.
Crazy.
I think Roc Nation about to fry them people.
That's crazy that these legal battles are being fought. That's crazy. These legal
on the
battles
internet.
Are being fought
this the time we in. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
This the time that we in. We're seeing legal shit being fought online. Like they are sending, I don't know. I guess you want to say hits,
memes and shit,
memes
bro.
and hits. They shouldn't fucking letters to each other.
When do you ever see memes behind? But yeah, that's just wild, bro. We're in new times. It's different.
Let me make a point on that. Let me make a point on that real quick. Make a point on that real quick. This is why I always said, man, shit be like a slippery slope. Because if you think about it, where is this fight really taking place at? This is not the court that this court is the court of public opinion. So the mudslinging, we've been seeing this shit happen in politics for the last I don't know, 8 years. We've been seeing it. I mean, more than 8 years, really. But we're seeing the landscape of how these things are being fought out in the public eye. Whether we see the shit with Kendrick and Drake, when it came down to the fans picking sides and saying what they had to say, and now we're seeing it being played out in this big legal battle between Diddy, Tony Buzbee, Jay-Z, Roc Nation, Tony Buzbee. Man, this thing is getting crazy. So all I know is that the court of public opinion seems to be where these wars are taking place. Yeah, man. But I'm gonna end it on that note. But I do want to ask you guys out there, what do y'all think about this? Do y'all think that this is where, I mean, it's already here, but do you think it's going to continue to be this? Like the fights, the mudslinging is always going to be on the internet. And I'm like, to me, it's happening in rap shit, it's happening in the politics, it's happening with legal battles, man. Shit crazy. But what do y'all think?